Hello, it's 5D back again. I'm back for a third season. So yeah, it's been almost 2 years since the podcast happened. I don't remember why I decided to take a break from it. I think I was just so busy, and yeah, I think that's what it was. I actually genuinely don't remember precisely why I decided to stop this show, but I've decided to reinvigorate it. There was a sort of partial third season, a few episodes that also got lost to the ether. Yeah, we don't know how that happened, but it's kind of ironic considering I decided to come back for a third season. It's 2025 now. It is 6 in the morning, so it's a little bit later than my usual early morning vibes that I record, time when I recorded it. But yeah, I've missed doing this, to be honest. And I don't want to rabbit on too long because you want to hear some music and some knowledge, vague, semi-nerd level knowledge about the subject. So shout outs to Dan Dadoud on this one, because this is going to be episode 1 of season 3, Boards of Scotland. Called that because it's all going to be about Boards of Canada. I was very surprised I never did an episode on them. They're one of my favourite artists ever. The reason I call it Boards of Scotland is because they were Scottish. Which was weird that they chose their name. Well, it wasn't weird, they were just being artistic. Boards of Canada, they decided to call themselves. Interestingly enough, it's because they took loads of samples from Canadian public information films, and you can hear them smattered about their discography. You'll hear a couple now, and yeah, in fact, the first one's Dandelion, about, also interesting factoid, I just came back from Canada, where my granny, also R.I.P., the legend, where she was from, she was from near Calgary, a little town called Okotoks. But apart from that knowledge, I'm going to have more time to rabbit on later, so I'm just going to play some music now. It's going to be all Boards of Canada this episode. We're going to start with Dandelion. You can hear the public information film vibes. Here we go.
When lava pours out near the sea surface, tremendous volcanic explosions sometimes occur. In time, submarine seamounts or islands are formed. When lava flows underwater, it behaves differently. A new contraption to capture a dandelion in one piece has been put together by the crew. The preparation for a dive is always a tense time. When lava pours out near the sea surface, tremendous volcanic explosions sometimes.
So that was Dandelion from the album Geogadi. It's a difficult one to know how to pronounce. This was not their first album. I think it was album-wise, it's complicated. They did loads of They have a sprawling discography, a bit like Aphex Twin. I think less than him, but still quite a lot. And there's also those obscure underground ones that I'm not entirely familiar with everything. I know a few bits and bobs that are obscure myself. So yeah, but it's beautiful album, very trippy. I mean, that was their whole vibe was audio-wise, I guess, nostalgia and trippiness. People used to describe it, nostalgic is something people describe it as. Like, it's electronic and it's sort of futuristic, but it sounds like it's nostalgic. It's a weird vibe to catch with your sound as a producers, but it's epic. I would have to say every track almost, nearly all the tracks have a little place in my heart. Obviously, I have my favourites. But anyway, I'm rabbit on. So yeah, the album Geogaddy, it had a beautiful cover, which was a kaleidoscope. Interesting little story, side note here, because this is quite funny. This little funny factoid. So I actually ordered this album back in the day from Warp Records, and the thing is, I'd already had an MP3s of it downloaded, sort of pirate, I think, and for some reason, someone must have taken one of the tracks and slowed it down and then released that as the MP3. Maybe it was meant to be 45 and they did it at 33 or something. I have no idea. But then when I received the album from Warp Records, I was like, I played it. And then when I got to the tune, that I think it was Alpha and Omega, the tune that one of the tunes, I was like, oh wait, it's too fast. And I didn't clock that what must have happened is someone slowed it down. So I actually wrote back to Warp, sort of complaining to their support line, going, excuse me, you've sent me a vinyl. I think there must be something wrong with this track. It's too fast. Maybe it was, and they were like, oh okay, and they literally were like, oh okay, we'll send you another one. And they literally just sent me another whole vinyl LP. And then when that one arrived, it was the same. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I figured it out. But yeah, shouts to Warp Records there for not writing back to me to tell you I was insane. What are you talking about? How is our vinyl going to have been pressed with a track too fast? But yeah, I guess they sell so many records, they don't need to, they can just send another one out. It's like they're still going to make loads of money. Yeah, I thought that was quite a funny little factoid there to hear. So what I thought I'd do with this episode is play the sort of shorter tunes first and then getting progressively longer, because some of their later ones are, I don't know, I mean, I know most of my listeners out there probably have a relative attention span, especially for good music. Attention span's not so hard when it's amazing tune, is it? Compared to concentrating on other things. Shout outs now, of course, to Neurotype Cooperative, otherwise known also Neurotype Sound System. Shout outs to the whole 5DNA micro rave crew, anyone who's listening. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to again not rabbit on too long, because you haven't tuned in here necessarily to hear me talk. Maybe you have with my radio voice, but maybe you just want to hear music. So the next track is Roigbiv, which is a funny thing to say. If you don't know, it stands for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. It's the rainbow colours, hooray. I'm going to let it speak for itself. Here we go. Yes, hooray. So that was a great tune. That was from the original album, the first one I ever heard. I remember back when I was at school, Music Has the Right to Children. Great name, great album. Like, it was mind-blowing at the time. The birth of what some people call, one of the progenitors of the genre IDM, which is a confusing genre. I mean, first it's called intelligent dance music, which some people, especially Aphex Twin, who a lot of people consider, well, you know, most people think it is IDM, but he never liked the term IDM, intelligent dance music. He was quite right, I suppose, in saying why is our music more intelligent than other genres, and I actually agree with him. Me and my friend, as I shouted earlier, Dan Dadoud, shout outs to him, basically we thought we'd try, I mean, you know, of course it's unlikely to catch on, but we wanted to rebrand it OTM, out there music, you know. But the thing is, things stick, and IDM stuck. But the thing that's confusing about the genre, in my opinion, is that sometimes people go, "Oh, Drill and Bass by Aphex Twin, that's IDM," and Square Pusher, mad drums and stuff. But then they're also saying that Chill Out, Alltecker, Boards of Canada is super chilled music, or even chilled Aphex and stuff, chilled Square Pusher even, is IDM as well. So you're sort of you're just whacking artists into a tub. You're not really describing the aesthetics and the feeling of the sound. So yeah, I mean, I think some people call Aphex craziness and drill and bass, and then they call chilled stuff IDM. But again, yeah, I mean, you could call it down tempo. You could, I don't know what else you'd call, or Boards of Canada, electronica. I mean, it's just amazing. I don't feel like you always have to pigeonhole with the genre and things. It obviously helps to try and explain stuff to people or search for it, and etc. But yeah, anyway, I will now shut up again. Then there was this track. So these Boards of Canada credited for doing coded stuff in their music, literally nerd mathematical deep dives into. People will read everything into them. I mean, basically my theory is, if you go on forums on the internet, there's like some crazy people reading into things. You know, like when people are like, "Oh, this movie, like the director meant this and meant that." Sometimes they may be right. Sometimes they're literally just making up their own ideas and pasting them onto things. But yeah, admittedly, Boards of Canada do have some level of I don't know what you call it when you put code and maths and stuff into your numerology and things into your music. I'm not sure if that's got a name. But anyway, this track is called Collapse. This one's interesting because apparently, I haven't actually tried it myself, but it sounds like it when you listen to it. You can hear that it will work. It's a palindromic track, which means if you play it backwards, it's the same as if you play it forwards. To a point, I must say, because looking at the waveform here in Ableton, I can see that it doesn't look exactly the same backwards as forwards. But I think generally, well, I'd love to have the vinyl. I would try it out. In fact, hang on a sec. I'm just going to flip it around in a minute in Ableton and see what it sounds like. But this is the track, Collapse. Here we go. So yeah, I don't know if you thought that that track was palindromic. I literally just flipped it. I've been talking about it being palindromic. It's close to it, but I just flipped it around, and the synth, the ADSR envelope on the synth is slightly different. It's close to being palindromic. It is not completely palindromic. I don't know if they've done that on a track, and it's a very interesting thing. My plan now is to make an actually palindromic track. In fact, I'm definitely going to do it. Because even though you think that might be hard, I've already worked out it's not. It's actually quite easy. I'm going to make one now, even if they have or haven't done one before. Anyway, rather than rabbit on about my life and what I'm going to do. By the way, just quickly mentioning why I was shouting Dan Da Dude so much. He's credited as being a nerd in lots of musical genres. Well, Wu-Tang is one. We had an episode on that. You can check that out. But the others, I think, he loves Boards of Canada. I think as far as I'm concerned, he probably knows more about them than anyone else I know. So even though he will deny being a super nerd, which he probably isn't, if you in the scheme of things, he knows more than anyone I know about them. So that's why I keep shouting him. But anyway, next up is a track. Okay, this is the one. This track, right, is called 5D. Of all the tracks I'm playing today, this is literally the most obscure. I can't find it easily. I think it's probably on YouTube somewhere. It's not on Spotify. I haven't really searched for anywhere else because somehow I don't know where it came from, but I had it on MP3. And it's just, this is, to me, one of the ultimate ambient tunes of all time. It just feels like being on a cloud, wrapped in candy floss, on too many Valiums or something, or Xanaxes even. Except the good thing is you're going to actually remember the track, which you wouldn't in that. If you were on a cloud wrapped in cotton wool on Xanax, you'd forget when you came back. But here we go. I'm going to run it now. Excuse me. 5D. This is, I think, the most obscure track I'm going to play today. As far as, unless you're an ultra nerd of Boards of Canada, you're going to be like, oh, Nick, no, it's not that obscure. This is on the so and so, blah, blah, blah. Came out this time. Anyway, here we go. 5D. floating on a cloud. Yeah, that is under that vibe. I will slot that in. In fact, I think you should call it F floating on a cloud. FOAC. FOAC. You could call this genre of ambient. Well, FOAC sounds a bit crap, but you could just call it floating on a cloud. I mean, nowadays genre names are just everything, aren't they? Just literally, there's about thousands of them. Just mash anything together. Slugwave is, of course, my genre that I made. Which if you want to check it out at all, I've got some tunes a little bit like Boards. I'm definitely inspired heavily. Some of my ambient or chill out stuff incredibly inspired by Boards of Canada. I won't rabbit on too much, but if you want to check it out, Deep and Beeper is the artist name. That's Deep space and N space and then Beeper, like, you know, the synthesizers, or like weirdly what I think about sometimes, like a beeper thing. I don't know what, you know. Anyway, point is, next track up is a remix by Boards of Canada of a track by Odd Nozdam, who also pretty cool, mate. Very short, super trippy tracks, a bit like in the Boards of Canada IDM sort of vein. Not super familiar with Odd Nozdam. I do know some of their tracks. I think it's one dude, I'm not sure. Amazing. But this is Boards of Canada remixing their track Sisters, and it sounds like nuns. Maybe that's why it's called Sisters. I mean, I don't know if it's singing nuns or it sounds like churchy. But I'll just run it now. This is Odd Nozdam. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Sisters, the Boards of Canada remix. Yeah, churchy nun vibes. Here we go. Bit out of the norm, but yeah, nice. So I've nattered on a lot. So I'm probably going to be quicker with introduction stuff right now. Also, I need breakfast. So I need to get up my son. Shout outs to him. Absolute legend. Lovely little person. Obviously. Well, I say that, but I suppose, yeah. Anyway. This coming is... I've got to get him up and feed him and feed myself. But I don't know if I'll be able to finish this podcast before then. But I'll come back and finish it off afterwards if I can't. But anyway, moving on. This track is 1969 in the sunshine. 1969. Yeah, it's just a lovely sample. I don't know if this is... I doubt it's a Canadian public information film. I'm sure... I don't think there was much public information about them going 1969 in the sunshine. Great. I think it's slightly vocodey voice. Whatever it is, it sounds amazing. And it's an absolute classic track. I'm going to run it now. It's 1969. What happened in 1969? Well, check out Wikipedia. Check out the history books. I can't think. I wasn't around. So I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, stuff happened then. And obviously it was nice to be in the sunshine in 1969. Here we go. 1960. I have to say the harmony slash melody stuff on that vocoder on 1969 The Sunshine is incredible. I just remember, as a producer of music, that is something that touched my brain, if you see what I said. You know what I mean? Touched my heart, touched my brain, touched my soul. The 1969 harmony of I think it's a vocoder, it must be. But yeah, it just sounds lush. I think lush is a very good word. I think there's probably a few more better words than that. But that's definitely a word. So next up, we have a remix of Slag Boom Van Loon, Poppy Seed, Boards of Canada remix. I was trying to get a few obscure tracks, less not well-known tracks in here. I thought this was one of them because I actually only discovered this a couple of years ago when I was at work cutting branches, and I was like, I was looking through, I don't know, I can't remember now. I think Spotify randomly, and maybe it suggested it to me and I didn't know about it, or I don't know how. Anyway, Slag Boom Van Loon did some other cool tracks. He was one of the IDM people. I don't know loads about him. I do remember his name coming up back in the day. He's not so ultra famous, I would say, but he did some cool tracks. And this is Poppy Seed, Boards of Canada remix. Music is Math. This track has some super cool stuff on the synth. I'm not going to try and explain what's going on. I'm not going to try to question or interrogate my brain and my production knowledge, or even go on the internet or find out what's going on with this track, with the drums. But it's super cool. Also, it's called Music is Math. I think it was the first track on GeoGaddy. And Music is Math. It's also not, but it mainly also is. And of course, this name must drive the the sort of numerology boards of Canada internet forum nerd people mad, because they're saying it's all the code in their tracks, which I imagine some of it is. I imagine they did whack some stuff in. The Devil is in the Details is another name of one of their tracks on the same album, actually, which I'm not going to play. But I don't know why that makes me think of that. Who knows? But this is Music is Math from GeoGaddy. It just makes you think, doesn't it? Here we go. Yeah, so I've been famous. Well, not famous, literally, but yeah, like to do on my podcast. Little kind of attempted. I'd usually say I'm not going to do it because I could do it so badly. The sound of the, sounds and things in tracks, do it with my mouth while I'm trying to chat about it and introduce it. I'm not going to try with that because that was quite a bad attempt. I can't do that. I can't do it. You know that sound in that track. You just heard it. You know what I'm talking about. It's just such a good sound. It's got to be filters on drums with various noise and pitch drums and yeah. Sounds sick. Next up, we have XYZ, the Peel session. So, yeah, John Peel, back in the day, shout to John Peel. Absolute legend. Like, I used to listen to him when I was at school. His voice was soothing. His radio show was incredible. He used to introduce new artists. I think maybe he was quite credited with, launching Boards of Canada quite a bit. Not actually sure if I think he did help at least a lot. Shouts to him because this format of this podcast is sort of, it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? Like old talk radio where people would talk and introduce tracks and stuff like that. Something you don't get so much anymore. I don't think. Spotify tried to ban it, like they pulled all the podcasts. We're not making money from this. Don't know. It's all on YouTube now. You can check it out. So you can still hear the podcast, as you probably, if you're hearing it, you obviously can hear it. The next track, anyway, XYZ Peel session. I don't know if they went in actually and did a live thing with John Peel. They probably did. I don't actually know. If you're a nerd, let us know. Answer on an envelope. When I say answer on an envelope, if you want to go to deepandbeeper.com, you can. I think there's a contact form. You can literally write to me there if you want to put your answer on an envelope. But here's the track. Running. So Boards of Canada are also legendary apparently for some amazing parties, which I never actually went to one of their gigs, but I've heard about them. Dan the dude actually told me about one. I don't know if he went to it or if he just told me about it. But they have some other tracks that are less chilled, that are more actually like dancey, and they just sound brilliant as well. Like they're like, yeah, vibes. This is dancey, but this is not normal, which is always a good thing to hear. So this next track is in that arena, rather than like chill out, and it's called Chinook. I can't remember where it's from, album-wise, but it is, or EP release-wise. But yeah, it's one of those party tracks. It's dancier. It's sort of dancey vibes. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a lot of people who are into, in inverted commas, normal genres of music would really vibe to. But if you're into sort of a bit different, OTM, IDM, whatever you want to call it, this track will, float your boat. Chinook. I guess, does it sound like a helicopter? No, it doesn't really, but it sounds sick. Here we go. hello. So if you're listening, also shout out to D4 Damager. If you are listening here, you're going to be like, Nick, why did you not put... And literally, my brain's melted. I can't remember what the name of the track is, where it goes, orange. And it's got all the numbers and the little kid laughing and counting. Do you know what? I'm not gonna rush and search for it now. If you're out there and you want to hear that track, which is one of the best tracks ever in the history of the universe. What the heck is its name? Why have I forgotten right now? Damn. I literally have forgotten its name. Okay, so my brain has melted. But let's just move on. Like, you can find it. If you know, if you don't know, it doesn't matter. Orange. But I didn't include it right now. So we're going to move, unless it was 1969. No, it's not 1969. What am I talking about? Anyway, this is Telephasic Workshop coming up. They have their little samples. They have their funny little voices. And this one goes, Borders of Canada. Inserted in, which is, wouldn't be, I presume, the Canadian Information films, but they must have made the sample themselves. Telephasic Workshop. This is a great tune. Here we go. From the original album that I first ever heard. Music has the right to children. Okay, that's my not too terrible attempt to do the end of that track. Yes, that was epic. So this is penultimate choice selection now. In a beautiful place out in the country. I could grab it on, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna play it. If you got to excuse me. If you got to this point in the podcast, well done. You love Boards of Canada, and you also don't mind listening to me chat on the radio, on a podcast. And I'll use the next slot before the last track to explain what's going to happen maybe in this season of podcasts. Okay, this is the next track, In a Beautiful Place Out in the Country. What a name.
Community
So it's 5D, gonna sign off now. So this season on the podcast, we are gonna have all sorts of stuff. So far, we've got planned D4 Damager, the man himself, is coming in for a chill hop, maybe chilled hip hop or trip hop episode. That'll be interesting. I think we got Ricochet and maybe Hells and maybe my wife as well coming in for one about the moon. As in, it's not about music. Well, it's about, we're going to play music, but we're going to chit chat about the moon. It's going to be a chit chat episode. Banter and interesting stuff. The other plan is to get Mikey T back for the curveballs, because we did one called Curveballs where we tried to throw lob tracks at each other so hard that they curve and miss each other's heads. As in weird out there tracks was the plan that we didn't see it coming, if you see what I mean, that we were going to play each other. Hopefully he'll be back for that, because we recorded that and it was in season 3, which got lost to the ether. What else is the plan? I guess we're probably going to do It's Good to Talk To with NJC, mental health chit chat, mainly because again that was one that we lost to the ether. And actually, if I look at my list of stuff, I think we've got to do a DJ Shadow episode, because I think again that was lost. And I'm not going to look at it now. I've just mentioned a load of things that I might be doing and you might be hearing, and there's going to be more still. But it will be a short season because it's almost the end of the year. But then next year will be season 4, and that'll be a long one. If you like listening to this show, big ups to you. Check out all the other podcasts. They're there, out there, in the internet. And yeah, hope you enjoyed listening. See you on the flip side. This is Everything You Do Is a Balloon, a long, amazing track, one of their best ever in my opinion. Is Everything You Do a Balloon? What on earth are they talking about? I do not know. Unless they mean... I'm just going to let you think about that rather than talk about it. But yeah, vibes. Maybe they're talking about the expansion of the cosmology, the expansion of the universe. You know, they talk about inflating bubbles in cosmology, space-time bubbles. Maybe you're living in a nitrous balloon trip, and you're going to wake up one day, realize your life was a dream. I don't know what that means philosophically, what the ramifications are. Shout outs to JT if he's listening. That's a funny joke that he would get ramifications. You probably get it too. Yeah, I'm going to stop and I'm going to play the track, and I'm going to see you, or you're going to tune in another time hopefully, and you'll hear me then. Bye bye.